Hey guys, we've got a bit of an update for you. We've got our little Gracie here with us. We've actually had a really big last 4 weeks, haven't we?
Yeah.
Stressful, a lot's happened. So we thought we would give you a bit of an update of what's been happening in the Hughes household and what we're planning to do next. So those of you following us on social media would know that it's actually the night back from our trip up north. I went and did something stupid. I was cleaning the roof of the Caravan and the four-wheel drive, slipped on some mud, fell down, and I broke my arm quite badly. So I actually got the bandage off now, which is good, but ended up with a titanium plate in my arm. And
robo arm.
Robo arm, yep. And also had my carpal tunnel done as well, because pre-surgery I actually couldn't move any of my fingers. So I had all my circulation was impacted. So had the double whammy of the surgery in the bone. So I actually had to drill that into my bone and do the carpal tunnel. But the good news is it's well and truly on the mend. And
back to doing what we want to do.
Yeah, I can move my arm. It'll be, a bit of a long road ahead to get it back to as it was, but certainly significantly better than it was 3 weeks ago. So that was kind of like the first big one. Whilst I was in hospital, I actually got COVID as well. So it's just what you want when you're home trying to recover from a surgery, dealing with that. And then 2 weeks later, so recovered, returned to my full-time job, and unfortunately I was made redundant in my role. So I've actually worked in marketing for the good part of the last 20 years, and I've been working for a mining company. And these things happen in organisations, but there were a number of redundancies where I was working, and my role was impacted. So, it came as a bit of a shock, didn't it?
Yeah, we didn't see that one coming,
didn't see it coming
at
no.
all.
And as you know, to date, we have been, managing, juggling, this passion of ours of camping and four-wheel driving on top of both having full-time jobs. So, we've got out as much as we can, and we've seen as much of the state as possible, but obviously constrained with things like,
leave and school and all of those
stuff.
Usual things you juggle with.
Yeah. And it's funny, Kate and I've had conversations around, the future. But yeah, when a redundancy happens, it's sort of, you never expect it. I have been through it once before, many years ago, but it came out good for us. We came out the other side and was on to bigger and better things. But, in that moment, you're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So it was very emotional for the two of us, really, kind of working things out.
And working through all of the challenges already that we've had the last few weeks. My goodness.
So we'll get to that. But so I thought that was my three, So surgery, COVID, losing my job. But we've kind of had a bit of time to reflect over this last 2 weeks, and we've really flipped it. And I think we're in a pretty good place. We've had a lot of discussions around the future and what we're going to do, and we're going to basically do something quite bold, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, we don't do things by halves, though. Generally, do we?
No, we don't.
But we don't. I just want to say before we reveal what that is, we haven't made any decisions lightly. We've gone back and forth over all scenarios before we came to that decision.
Yeah.
So.
No, spot on. No, we've debated, looked at all different options, but we've been doing this four-wheel drive camping stuff for 5 years, but it was the trip it was down south in Esperance recently. So we're in that beautiful camp spot. Kate and I were sitting around having a drink at night, and we were talking about the future, and we've always wanted to travel around Australia. And it was funny, we were talking about it, and Kate was saying, oh, Mark, if we we're going to do this, it would realistically have to be next year. And we kind of just shrugged it.
Which is this year.
Yeah, which is the year coming. And the reason for that is, we have kids. We have a daughter that's just turned 13, and we've got a young boy as well, and they're both in school. And there's obviously, it gets a bit more serious as you get into high school. If we left it any longer to travel around Australia, it would be challenging. We wouldn't want to have any impacts on our kids' education. So that was kind of in the back of our minds, but we shrugged it off, didn't we? As that kind of, it's never going to happen, because let's face it, I don't have long service leave. We just don't have.
And bills, mortgages, and all that fun stuff.
All that stuff is expensive, yeah. So yeah, I mean, the redundancy gives us some options. It's given us an opportunity to kind of have a think about things, and although it's not going to change our world, we're going bold. So did you want to tell everyone what we're going to do?
Well, we've got our house up for sale, so we should have offers in the next couple of days. So we're selling everything, and yeah, we're doing a lap around Australia for 6 to 12 months. We're just winging it as we do.
Yep.
And yeah, that's going to be us. So super excited. I think once we get past this stage, there's been a lot of things that we have had to work out, but yeah, super excited, and yeah, stoked to be doing this full time.
Yeah, so you know, really for us, this is becoming content creators full time. So you know, we've been juggling this around, you know, other commitments, but what we intend to do with this travel of Australia is dedicate all of our energy into this. So we want to do more content, so increase the frequency, increase the diversity, get to some really cool, interesting places.
Just something different.
Yeah, I mean, we love WA. We've seen a lot of WA, and there's still a lot of WA we still would like to see, but Australia is a massive place, and we just, you know, we follow other YouTubers, we follow, you know, travel vloggers, and we see all these amazing places, and you know, I would love to do that, you know, one time, but it's always been like you just can't see it when you're working full time. It seems like you can't touch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the bold decision. We're going to travel full time. We don't have an end date at this stage. We're just kind of keeping it, you know, fluid. We might travel for longer. We'll just sort of see how we're going to go. But you know, the big decision for us, which was quite stressful, was what we do with the sort of housing situation. You know, we have a house here in Perth. We could have rented that whilst we travelled.
I'm a property manager.
Yep.
By day. So lots of discussions about what that would mean, the rent and that sort of thing. But we've decided to sell, haven't we? Just take that pressure off. Yeah.
Yeah, the market's very strong. You know, I'm sure you were following it. The real estate market's strong. So, you know, it is advantageous for us to sell at the moment and, you know, kind of take that equity. Takes the pressure off, and we can reevaluate, you know, when we return to Perth. That's still our intention in the future, but you know, takes the pressure off for us. And we did also look at one option, which was to downsize. So we looked at the potential of selling and then buying something smaller that we would return to. But we looked into it, and the prices for these smaller houses are just astronomical.
Yeah.
And then there were things like, you know, where we're going to park a caravan. A lot of them didn't have space for a caravan. It was just way too complicated. So we've just kind of parked that. We've taken the pressure off, and we'll revisit that discussion in the future. But you know, it's, I guess now we've landed on that's what we're going to do. We're actually feeling pretty excited about the whole thing. The kids are excited as well, and it's going to be a whole lot of work ahead of us, I think. For this next period. The timing's still a little bit fluid, but we're thinking probably November-ish at this stage is sort of the time frame, because we do want the kids to finish out as much of the school year as possible. But that seems like a long way away. It's really not.
It's not.
There's going to be a whole lot of big decisions as well, and one of those will be our travelling chariot. So the Forbes 15 Plus, which we absolutely love and we've owned for the last couple of years. We've decided we're going to put it up for sale with the view of upgrading to a bigger full-size van. And the only reason for that is purely just having a bit more space for full-time travel. We've got this van, and we've done a lot of things with it, and it's been great. But I think just having that extra space for full-time travel, a little bit less sort of setup would work for us for the full-time travel.
And I just want to stress here, that is the only reason we're selling it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, just because we're going to be on the road for so long, we don't want to be in each other's jam constantly, you know, so otherwise we would have kept it.
Yeah, we love it.
I've been to some really cool places that, you know, normal caravans wouldn't be able to get to, so it's ticked all the boxes, and we invested a lot in this van in the early days as well. We put a 480 amp hour battery system in there, lithium, so you know, we could run the aircon off grid, put a big 3000 watt inverter in it, so it's fully off grid ready, and that's what we built it for. So yeah, we'll be sad to see that one move on, but you know,
it gives us an opportunity to try something different as well. So we haven't landed on the what the future van will be, but we'll obviously keep you all posted. Yeah, look, if any of you have been watching our travels and you've admired the Forbes 15 and you've always dreamt of owning one, drop us a DM on either in the comments and I can follow it up, or on social media on Facebook or Instagram, and yeah, happy to have a conversation with you, because as I said, we'll be going immediately onto the market.
Yeah, so we're Perth based, just in case anybody's not sure where we are, and there is a walkthrough video for the MDC as well, isn't there, on our channel from memory?
Yes, yeah,
so
several.
You can see what it looks like inside, the space, all the different features, that sort of thing. So,
yeah.
And that aircon can run off grid as well.
Yeah.
The temperature's key with that. So I think if you have it on like 24, 25, you can potentially run that all night with the battery setup.
Oh, you definitely can. Yeah. I mean, I think with any battery system, like with aircon, if you get the temperature right, you can run it for a lot longer. But we found that sweet spot. I think I talked about it in the Bustleton video. If you want to go back to that one and relive that conversation, we did talk specifically around battery temperature. It's a huge battery system, so it's got 3 rooftop solar panels, and we've also got an Anderson plug to the side, so you can plug in a solar blanket as well to top that up. So yeah, really good setup. So that's van talk. Yeah, so it's a lot of big news probably to absorb.
Yeah. We're still absorbing it, to be fair.
We are, yeah. Yeah, and I think for you guys, the opportunity here is, you get to see more content, you get to see more interesting content. So we're really excited about that. I think with this being, essentially a career for us for this period, we have to look at things realistically, and there might be a couple of brands that we partner with, some trusted brands that we've worked with before. So there might be a few returning brands that I've done content with that you may see supporting us on our travels, which is really exciting. But it'll be the same honest and transparent content that it always has been. That's just the way we are. But it gives us an opportunity to see a whole different side of Australia that we haven't before.
Well, all of us. There's places that we're planning to go that none of us have been to. So super stoked about that.
No, we're really pumped.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're open to your feedback of where we should go, bearing in mind the time frame that I mentioned before, probably mid-November. So if you've done a lap of Australia, or if there are places you've seen that are kind of must visits, let us know, because the itinerary is blank at the moment, and we have no idea where we're going to start and finish. And
we just know we're doing a lap. That's it. That's all we know at the minute.
Yeah, we're committed to doing it. And, but yeah, it's super exciting. But yeah, that's kind of our big news, guys. Hope you like that news, because it'll mean you get to see more content from us. And leave your thoughts and comments below. We'll chat to you soon.